Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Aligopavan Harinama Sankirtan ki, Shri Shri Radha Niyamagra ki, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshmana Hanuman ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Shri La Prabhupada ki, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshugumannilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So those of you in the last row, you all can hear me well? Behind? Is the sound audible behind? Yeah, thank you. Very happy to be here at ISKCON Seattle. I had come in 2019 and I was fortunate to have a meeting with Grace Harivilas Prabhu also. And I am coming after the COVID now again. So many devotees, despite the masks, you all have come all the way to the temple. Thank you for coming. I was planning to take this two very important verses which I feel are very, very relevant to our lives for especially practicing sadhakas. The verse number 2 and 3 of Nectar of Instruction. So we will recite the second verse. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangascha laulyam cha shadvir bhaktir vinashyati. So there are 6 items which you all might have studied in your Bhakti Shastri course. I had actually brought some Acharya's Tika which I wanted to display here on the screen, but a few items I'll discuss today. I won't complete all the whole verse. See this verse, you all know the meaning of each of these words. Atyahara means what? Accumulating more than necessary. Like somebody may say, I have 5,000 lectures in my jukebox or in my computer. You ask him, how many you have heard? I have no time to hear. That is also an example of accumulating. Similarly, accumulating many spiritual books, but we don't get time to read. We neatly keep them in the showcase. Atyahara. Or limitlessly accumulating wealth, not knowing the end, not knowing the limit. How much I need to accumulate. Oftentimes, even after coming to sadhana bhakti, sometimes it is very difficult to know the exact, keep track of the exact goal. So Srila Prabhupada in his books makes it very easy for us. He says, there is Antaranga Shakti, there is Bahiranga Shakti. Antaranga Shakti is the spiritual world. Bahiranga Shakti is the material world. Antaranga Shakti is compared to fire. Bahiranga Shakti is compared to smoke. Antaranga Shakti is compared to flesh and Bahiranga Shakti to the nails. Like Prabhupada says, the nail gradually when it comes out, it has no life. Gradually it dries up. Material energy is like that. Jada. Antaranga Shakti, everyone and everything is Chetan there in Antaranga Shakti. And why Antaranga Shakti is compared to fire? Because in a stove, the fire serves and smoke troubles. The smoke goes into our eyes and, eyes and nose, and it creates trouble. We are not comfortable. Similarly, the material energy is called as there is halada tapakari mishra. He says, our Rupa Goswami says that it is a mishra, it's a combination of pleasure and pain, the material energy. You don't know whether you are enjoying or suffering. It's difficult to say when you are in material energy. Actually, many sufferings are considered to be enjoyment in material energy. For example, imagine on a chill, cold climate, somebody throws a blanket over you. Will you consider it a favor or a punishment? Favor. Because you are feeling very cold, somebody is giving a blanket, it's very wonderful. But after giving blanket, they beat you. Pat, all sides. How will you feel? So similarly, Maya Devi has two Shaktis. One is called as Avaranatmika Shakti. She covering potency. And Prakshepatmika Shakti means kicking potency. So she covers and beats. So therefore it is very difficult to know. Somebody feels that this blanket is very nice because it's warm for me. At the same time, when one gets beating, one feels uncomfortable. One wants to get rid of that blanket also. But some people are more enjoying having the blanket that they refuse to give up. And they continue getting beating. You can see that. So that is external potency is like that. It's a misery-giving potency. So actually, one cannot blame the Supreme Lord for our sufferings because it is like a school-going boy. He failed in mathematics and he is very angry with the principal. Principal has failed me in maths. If he says, principal, he is busy with putting up the school. He has employed teachers. He has brought the students, and he is administrating, organizing the school. That one of the teachers is a maths teacher, and maths teacher teaches the students mathematics, and she conducts the exams, and the boy may fail in the exam, and you can't blame the principal for that. Similarly, if we sow the neem seed and blame that the rains have, produced so many neem fruits in my garden, if you say, actually rain pours down. If you sow mango seed, you get mangoes. If you sow neem seed, you get neem seeds. Therefore, every jiva is called as idam shariram kaunteya kshetram ityabhidiyate evam yoveti tam prahu kshetrajnam iti tadvidah. Krishna says that just like one king may allot 1,000 acres to 1,000 farmers, and each farmer is given one acre, and the king is the owner of all the lands, and each farmer is owner of one acre land, isn't it? And different farmers may grow different things. Some farmer may grow tobacco, somebody may grow sugarcane, somebody may grow rice, somebody may grow vegetables, somebody may grow neem trees, somebody may grow mango trees. So different fellows grow different things. Similarly, all the jivas, we are all begging for a field for doing our actions, and the body is the field given to us. And in that body we are doing punya pap and reaping our own fruits. And Lord is supplying rain, and He can't be blamed. If we sow neem seeds, we will get neem trees. If we sow mango seeds, we get mango trees. So the sufferings we undergo in this world are due to our own mistakes. Therefore Krishna says, Nadatte kaschachit papam dasaivam sukridam vibhuhu. He says that in Bhagavad Gita. There's no point blaming the Supreme Lord. So in this verse, Prabhupada says, in the Atyahara verse, there is a very clear-cut purpose of this universe. This universe is a hospital. It is not a hotel. In a hotel you get a menu to tick mark. What do you want? You say you bring this. Do you go to a dispensary shop and ask them, please show me the medicines? I will take only those tonics and those tablets which are sweet. Do we choose like that, or we give a doctor's prescription? Which one? Doctor's prescription. And in the spiritual life, who is our doctor? Guru. Guru is our doctor. And what is the medicine? He gives, chant the holy name, do these things. He gives us like that. So we go to the, therefore it is considered to be a hospital. What is the disease? Bhava aushadat shrotra mano viramat. He says, So Bhava Rog is the disease, and Bhava Aushadhi is the Srimad Bhagavatam and chanting of the holy name. So, and the purpose of the creation, Prabhupada says the word dharma in 3 different ways. He explains beautifully in different purports. One purport, Prabhupada says, the meaning of the word dharma means how to utilize this human form of life to cleanse our heart and stop the cycle of birth and death. He says in one place. Another place he says the purpose of dharma means the ultimate purpose of life, to follow the laws of God, to align with the laws of God as given in the scriptures. Dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. Lord gives the laws. And by so aligning with the beginning, we align with God's laws by duty, based on duty. And eventually that alignment turns into love. And then go back home, back to Godhead. Like that he says. That's a definition of dharma. Another place he says the meaning of the word dharma means awaken Krishna prema, love for God. So ultimately, although these dharma, different definitions appear to be different, ultimately the jiva's original nature has to be revived. Why I talked about this now? If this goal is kept in mind, we can work out all other activities in our life around this goal. Actually, we should keep Krishna in the center of our life and not add Krishna as one of the items of our life. There's a very big difference between the two. The pious materialists, they will add Krishna as one more item in their life so that, they can continue their own program in life and add Krishna so that Krishna may also support their activities. For example, there are many people who do Lakshmi Puja. The purpose of the Lakshmi Puja is that, Lakshmi will shower more gold coins. So they appear to be religious, but the purpose of the religion is to expand their material life. It's a material program, it's not a spiritual program. So in Maharashtra, very famous, they do Satyanarayan Puja, they do Lakshmi Puja. These are all very famous. People are ready to do. In fact, some people spend crores of rupees to arrange a Bhagavad Saptaha. I asked one person, what is your motivation to arrange such a big Saptaha? So he said, in our tradition, every member of the family, every son, in my once in a life, I am supposed to arrange one Bhagavad Saptaha. Therefore, they spend a big money. And of course, they have arranged Saptaha, some 2,000, 3,000 people come, but they are themselves busy running around organizing everything. They have no time to sit and listen. And after the 7 days are over, they think my life's duty is over now, along with that. So, these are certainly pious rituals which are very wonderful, but these things don't serve the ultimate purpose of life. The ultimate purpose of life is to go back home, back to Godhead after awakening love for God. So, if that goal shouldn't be forgotten. So, atyahara, when we say, okay, people are accumulating in this world more and more, but the purpose of accumulation is what? It makes them more and more forgetful of Krishna, that accumulation. I heard a story, once a father gave 3 sons same amount of rupees. He gave them some thousand rupees and told them, spend less and fill up the room, and I will come back after a month and see what you guys have done. So the 3 sons had filled up the room with something. So the father came back, and the first son, told the father, I have completely packed the room, you come and see. So he opened the door. He had filled the whole room with donkey stool. Father was shocked. It is stinking. Why did you fill it up with this? The son said, this is the cheapest thing I could get in the market. So that was the thing he had filled up. And second son had filled it up with that yellow color, dry grass, which we keep for the cows. He told the father, you told me to fill it up with cheap thing. In village we get it very cheaply. I fill it up. So the third son had kept a beautiful picture of Radha Krishna with a lamp. And he had kept a copy of Bhagavad Gita. He told father that, you have given me this room. Every day I come and bow down to Lord. I chant the holy name. I worship him. And he said that when you keep the Lord is everything. Everything emanates from him. There is no place where he is not present. He not only fills up the room, he fills up the universe, he fills up everything. Once my spiritual master was, Hare Krishna, all the holes of our body, he said, always keep demanding more and more. Like the eyes, for example, always hanker to see beauty. The ears, hanker always. More and more. What am I? That is better? Hare Krishna. Is it all right? Better? Okay. So he was telling, when you fill up all the holes of the body with a supreme whole, they will become satisfied. As he was telling. So supreme whole is WH only. When you fill up all the senses with Krishna, then only they become pacified. Otherwise they don't become pacified. So the father appreciated the third son because he filled up the room with Krishna. Krishna vibrations. And the father made him the responsible fellow. So similarly, this atyahara is actually accumulating unnecessities. And in that connection, Prabhupada talks about, in his purport, he talks about the greed. He says, if you keep a sack of rice, your dog will eat a little bit and go away, sparrow will eat and go away. But you will see that when a man comes, he will take the whole sack and go. He says. And is it all right? You sound all right? Okay. Yeah. So, accumulating without purpose. That's the point Prabhupada is emphasizing. The Acharya's Tika, I wanted to show this. Yeah. Eating too much or accumulating more than necessary. In this, if you see this verse, the whole thing, the 6 items, how they have come about, the root of all these problems is Hare Krishna. Voice is not clear behind. Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right. I think it's like very low volume, that is not very clear. Oh, only that is working. Hare Krishna. I think if you have to have it louder, you have to tolerate the sound. I think that's material world. Somebody was telling me, he told me that while going, I went from Calcutta to Mayapur by road, So he said, Prabhuji, point to point we will drop you, they said. But the problem is there are a lot of holes on the road. And roads are, very, very horrible roads. So I was telling that fellow, if you go in the train, it's very heavily crowded. Very difficult to get a place in the train. And you have to get down at Krishnanagar and you know how to go to Mayapur. And if you go by road, there are a lot of bumps and hollows and very difficult. So I was saying, you have a choice between the two. You want a pinch or a pinprick? We are in the material world still, therefore. Hare Krishna. Is it all right? That side is making sound, yeah. Well, this volume seems to be a little low. You can increase the volume a little bit. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So, I'll just... so I was telling you that the whole thing starts from Jana Sangha, bad association. What is bad association? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Asat Sangha Tyage Vaishnavachar. And then he says, Stri Sangi Eka Sadhu Krishna Abhakta Ar. He says that. He says that in this verse, the women are not condemned. Attachment to women is condemned. If a man is attached to woman, and Prabhupada says in one purport, woman means woman for a man, and a man is the woman for a woman, like the Prabhupada says. So, anyone who in this world is attached to wealth, attached to opposite sex, attached to subtle sex of name, fame, glory, that is actually the Sri Sanghi and Eka Asadu, Krishna Bhaktar. He says associating with non-devotees. This is the root cause of all the other 5. You will see that. So who are the asadhus? Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given 6 types of asadhus. The first person is, he has no faith in God and no faith in morality also. That's the first category. They say just, there is one category of people, I don't know whether you heard about them. They called as Lolo, they call live only life once. So these people, they eat, drink, be merry, they go in ship. So one of the merchant navy students of ours in Pune working, he told us that these people, when they travel in ships, they are so dirty in behavior, they do all kinds of sinful activities, and any man engages with any woman, they have no restriction. But these people murder, kill one another also. They throw them in the ocean. Their life is like that. So they have no culture at all. They live like two-legged animals only. So no faith in God, no faith in morality. That's a low-class materialist. Hare Krishna. All right? Hare Krishna. Okay. So the higher category, second category of materialist, he says, is those people who have fact, there are fools who say that you religious people are good because the religious organizations you help you to make people moral. That's very good because you are making moral. It's very nice. So they think morality is superior even to spirituality. They think like that. And third category, he says, are people who have faith in God and faith in morality, but their faith in God is subordinate to faith in morality. Which means they think that no, morality is more higher than God. That means they try to put God in the box of morality, no, within that box. Because these people never will accept a guru in the disciplic line. What's that fan, huh? Okay, okay. So, like for example, these people who have faith in morality, but their faith in God is subordinate to morality, they will want God to be like Lord Rama. He accepts Ekapatni Vrat, he always speaks the truth, for the sake of his country, Lord Rama sent his wife to the forest. Therefore he is good God, because he fits in my morality box. And if Krishna has 16,000 wives, they can't understand. They will get bewildered. And Krishna steals butter, and Krishna runs away from battlefield, they can't understand. So therefore this third category, they have faith in morality and God, but their faith in God is subordinate to faith in morality. And then the fourth, fifth, sixth category, he talks about impersonalists, he talks about polytheists, demigod worshippers. And lastly, he talks about dharma-dvajis. Dharma-dvaji means, dvaja means flag. Dharma-dvaja means they will have the external symptoms of a religionist. But if you go closer, you will come to know they are not following anything. No, they are simply cheating. Yeah. So the sixth type of materialist, he says, why I am telling you this? Because the Janasangha, we may be thinking that a materialist may be thinking that he is a hardcore materialist, is an ordinary person. Actually, we many a times get cheated by these six types of people. Sometimes I am very surprised. Somebody says I am chanting 16 rounds, I am chanting 8 rounds and all that. But when we go closer, we find that they are hearing lectures of various organizations. And they are also talking different philosophies. There is one philosopher who says, don't follow anybody. You follow your own mind. As it he says. So some of the people claim to be, they come to ISKCON temple, they even wear dhoti kurta, they even chant Hare Krishna and all that. But you will be surprised, they are hearing all that in YouTube. They hear anybody. And they are associating with the impersonalist. And Prabhupada asked, if he says don't follow anybody, why should you follow him? Now you decide whether you want to follow Vaishnavas or Mayavadis, like the Prabhupada said. Why should, basically he is telling you, don't follow anybody, I am telling you, so therefore you follow me, like that he said. And in the way back to Godhead, but they may take detour, they may go this way, that way, and ultimately come. Prabhupada used to ask, if you take a ticket to Calcutta, how can you go to Chennai? You can't go like that. So, anything you follow, any god you worship, ultimately everything is one. This is another misconception. So therefore, one has to be very careful. It is not only enough to chant Hare Krishna and enough to, visit the temple and be connected externally, but internally one has to test one's faith, whether one is associating with the six type of materialists. Just like when you are going out anywhere, you buy a Bisleri bottle which is sealed. We are very careful to physically not get sick by drinking sealed water. We wouldn't drink water which is coming from some tap somewhere. We won't drink. As much as we are cautious about physical health, we should be 10 times more cautious about spiritual health. And the spiritual health is ruined by hearing from unauthentic sources, which is very dangerous. And intellectual people tend to, try different things. Hear this, hear that, anything. And therefore they may be damaging their own tender devotion to Krishna. So these type of materialists are explained by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his writings, because He is saying that the materialists can be very fine materialists. They may not be gross materialists. This association actually is very damaging to the faith. So from the Janasangha what happens? From that comes Prajalpa, not Krishna Katha. So because the Janasangha is offering us the seeds of Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi. These seeds we will get. But if we hear from Shuddha Bhaktas, we will get Bhakti. So whatever seed we get, that's why I told you in the beginning of the class today, whatever seed we sow, and when the rains come, that will grow. One time we heard one shocking information from Chaitanya Charitamrita, that if we are chanting offensively, nobody is going to pay. The same manner in the path of bhakti also, same type of method is, it is also a path, a glorious path. Ultimately, it's meant for. It's a very beautiful path for advancing. So Janasangha should be avoided. Otherwise, basically Janasangha means Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami. Associating with them unknowingly, ignorantly or knowingly. That leads to Prajalpa, not Krishna Katha. And Prajalpa, when we do, what happens? The result of that is Niyamagra. Anybody knows Niyama Agraha means what? Niyama Agraha means what?
Sometimes following, sometimes not following.
Actually, Niyama Agraha means thinking I am very advanced and I don't have to follow the rules. It is giving up the rules. And Niyama Agraha means eagerly accepting the rules, not for spiritual advancement, but for the sake of some material benefit, like I told you. One may accept, like there are many people in India who do vratas. On Tuesday they will not eat something, on Friday they will not eat something, and it will be for a material goal. They will want to achieve some material goal. So, that's one of the explanations Acharya gives in the Tika, they are giving that. Another meaning of Niyama Agraha means accepting rules very blindly without wanting to without making a plan to advance in spiritual life. Like for example, like one time I had gone to some, they had invited us for one Bhagavad Saptaha 7-day program. They us to do a Harinam Sankirtan for them. We had agreed. So we went. So in the beginning, I asked, nobody is in the pandal, where are the people? They said, no, they will be bringing the Bhagavatam. So some 20 minutes distance, so they took me in a car. So then all of them put the Bhagavatam in a chariot, silver chariot, and they put the Bhagavatam and they were bringing it, and there was a band was played, and all the men and women were nicely dressed like in a traditional dress, and they brought the Bhagavatam 20 minutes, and they kept the Bhagavatam on the stage, dais. Then again they were going. I asked, why are they going again? Now they are going to bring their Guruji now. They said, okay, then we also went. Then they brought the Guruji on the chariot also. Now, in that procession probably most the women were probably foreign women and good crowd.
Came out. Oh, that is what we should.
The song is sad. And then they told me, now you will continue to talk after that.
Internet noise. Internet.
I saw on the men's side was a very weak strength. There were only 50 to 80 people.
This is internet thing. You want to connect to my Wi-Fi? Streaming, bro. Oh, okay, streaming.
These men came only for procession. The other gone back to their business.
Can you call
And I looked at the audience.
Vedana?
The youngest man was 80 years old. I was surprised. I said, "Did we wait?" No, they won't come. I said, "We can start." So one thing I understood, actually they are coming for a procession program, but they don't know the purpose of the saptaha is to hear. It's most important. And many innocently new people, they come at the end of the program, you know that. They either come for the kirtan after the prasad, they don't know the importance of hearing.
Okay, I found the problem, but now streaming is done. Not working. You can do streaming. I'm trying.
Niyamagra means accepting a user formulary without
Streaming card.
when Angiramani came to his palace,
Streaming card. Streaming card.
very much respected. He gave him anywhere at sea, gave him a garden, organized him, raised him. And when he was sitting on an elevated seat, he sat down just below his feet. The crowd stood positioned in his head, with folded palms.
Yeah.
And in this way, he pleased Muni, naturally Muni was very pleased.
Yeah, no, it is not very
Yeah, streaming card. What can we do?
Because I can put it in the Zoom and you can send the Zoom link.
Yeah, do it. You want to do it this camera, but I don't have camera. I have camera at this.
Huh?
I have camera here.
Then I log in there.
1 minute. Let me do one thing. When you go to Prabhu, put it phantom, select this one. Source. HP HDMI fixed. Then he will see audio. Yeah, we can do whatever we get, they get. That's it.
So this is Zoom?
This is Zoom.
Can you put in Zoom?
YouTube, Nana. YouTube, it's coming.
Okay.
Dhananjay. Dhananjay. What? Can you check someone what you are getting in YouTube?
This is only reserved for
Go there.
two verses like in Bhagavad Gita.
That's I have to click.
Wholehearted means what? Sometimes people say, no, I tell you from the bottom of my heart. What the bottom of my heart means, without any reservations. Considering Krishna to be their own. I belong to Krishna, Krishna belongs to me, like that. Actually, this type of mamata, from Krishna towards Krishna is very, very rare. You see, one Jamindar was sitting in his upstairs, first floor, he was sitting in the sofa. From there he looked outside, in the compound wall, one small boy was passing water on the compound wall. He shouted to the watchman, "Hey watchman, drive that fellow away." And the watchman drove that boy away. Then this Jamindar came and sat in the sofa. His daughter came with a small baby and kept the baby on his lap. And the baby passed water on his dhoti. And the dhoti got wet and became hot. How did this man behave? Very amazingly he behaved. He told his daughter, "See this small boy, how beautifully he is passing water on my lap." So why he was feeling like that? See, that boy was passing water on the wall of the compound. That this fellow couldn't tolerate. But here one child is passing water on his dhoti itself. Still he is adoring it. Why? This is called mamata. You know mamata? Mamata means attachment. He is my daughter's son. He is my grandson. He is feeling that. So you will see that when it comes to our blood relatives, we feel that they are my own. We have a very strong bond with them. But when it comes to Krishna, we do it out of duty. You agree there's a difference or not? So Krishna says, Buddha Bhava Samandita means those who consider me their own, or consider them my own. With that kind of consciousness, those who worship me, he says, those devotees very definitely attain Krishna. There's another verse he says in the 15th chapter, last verse, Yo mameva asammudho janati purushottamam sa sarva ved bhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. He says that sarva bhavena bharata, same thing he says that. Yo mameva asammudho, without any illusion, those people who know me as I am, he's saying, janati purushottamam, they know me as the supreme person of the Godhead. And then he says, bhajati mam. Again, similarly, he says, itimatva bhajante mam. Same thing he says, bhajati mam. Sarva bhavena bharata, with a wholehearted consciousness. That means people whose hearts are sold out to Krishna. That's the meaning of wholehearted consciousness. Sometimes people put in a t-shirt, I lost my heart in Vrindavan, right now. Those who have lost their heart to Krishna. That means, they wake up in the morning with Krishna, Krishna. They go to sleep at night with Krishna, Krishna. In the daytime they are cooking and offering prabhu to Krishna. They are distributing books of Krishna. They are doing Harinam Sankirtan of Krishna. They are making their home a temple. Bringing people and feeding them prasad, telling them about Krishna. So in this way, one has to wholeheartedly practice. So when we do Niyamagra, when we neglect the spiritual rules and regulations or accept superficially, we don't get the bliss, Bhakti bliss. Not getting Bhakti bliss, we get the quality called Laulyam, which is called material greed. Greed for material enjoyment. So, and when we become materially greedy, therefore we do atyahara, over accumulation. You see the connection? First, everything begins with what? Which problem? Janasanga. And from Janasanga what happens? When we meet the non-devotees, we tend to discuss about matters which are not very important for Krishna consciousness. Like for example, somebody was living near the temple. They would come to the temple, take darshan of the deities. They would help in making garland. They would cook bhoga for the deities. And they would be doing Sankirtan in the temple hall. All that they were doing. But at one point of time they got another job paying better. They go into a faraway place. And then they stayed in some housing colony with some non-devotees in the neighborhood. So then they came to their house and they went to their house. Gradually they didn't even know how the degradation gradually entered into their life. They became slack in their spiritual habits. Their reading and chanting reduced, their morning program stopped. Barely they could finish 16 rounds in a day. And in this way, gradual degradation came into their lives. And they're wondering how it all came about. It's because of Janasanga. And they found that now they are even tempted to watch TV for seeing some material serials which have now no spiritual substance. In this way, the degradation can come in the life of devotee by Janasanga, Prajalpa. So, Prajalpa, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says 5 things he says about Prajalpa. He says, useless talk, that's the first one he says. Repeat these 5. Useless talk, argumentation, debate, fault finding, and blasphemy. These are 5 things he says, which is Prajalpa he says. Sometimes people, even amongst devotees, there can be argument. Like one time a devotee was sleeping in the health room. Health room means a place where he is supposed to get healthy. Earlier we used to call it sick room. Then a person goes there and doesn't come out easily. Then we renamed it as health room. Hearing the name only you become healthy. So in health room one devotee was sleeping. One another devotee went to meet him. Prabhu, how is your health? I heard you got fever. He said, yes. Did you take medicine? He asked me. He said, yes, sir, sorry. I have taken some kashaya. Kashaya? What kashaya is it? It is Ayurvedic kashaya. You took Ayurvedic things. But better take allopathy medicine because fever doesn't get over by Ayurvedic medicine. Better that you take allopathy, take paracetamol.
See, that's okay. You want to.
Bhagavatam, it comes in fundamental Leela, isn't it? So he was telling like that. Ayurveda comes from God, but your allopathy is all man-made, always coming from the speculative nature of the medical practice. And he's this fellow became he ultimately everything comes from Krishna in this world.